But
Welcome to Smash Writing. I'm Paul. This is Justin. Today we are back with another Bond film, License to Kill, 1989, starring Timothy Dalton. Before we get started, what made you switch into Spider-Man gear for
it
Bond?
was a shirt on top of the pile.
Of all the ones, I'm like, that's what I was saying before. I know you
Well,
edited it.
the other one was Ahsoka, and the other one was Poison Ivy. So
It's just so random that you went with like the bright red Spider-Man shirt. But this is Timothy Dalton's second and final film as Bond. Without further ado, Justin, plot.
Bond is on his way to a wedding. Felix is his buddy with the DEA, and they're intercepted by a helicopter.
Well, no, Felix is CIA, but he also works with DEA.
Whatever. The guy that they've been after, named Franz, has left his compound, and he's in jurisdiction to be arrested, and they have to go right now.
I know, right?
So Bond and Felix go off to make this arrest because Franz has come out of his compound because his girlfriend Lupe has run away. And they tracked her and the guy she ran off with, and they're killing him and whipping her.
Yeah.
Okay. But they make it there, and Franz sees the helicopter touching down, so he bails out of the car. And in the big firefight that's about to happen, he's able to run all the way around them and get into his helicopter and fly off. But they chase him down in the helicopter, and Fishtail get a line around his plane, and they like fish him out of the air, and off to prison he goes.
Except
So they parachute down to the wedding, and everything goes off without a hitch there. Except Franz breaks out, because of course he does. He has a man on the inside, Kelfner.
which it wasn't like a straight inside. He
Yeah.
paid for it basically. So. Mm-hmm.
So after Bond leaves, Lupe and his bride go into the house, and they're immediately kidnapped. And she is eliminated, and Franz is fed to the shark. Bond's at the airport when he heard news that there was a prison escape, so he rushes back. He makes it in time to save Franz, who lost his leg. And maybe his arm. I think they saved his arm, though.
Yeah.
But now he's out for revenge.
A pissed off James Bond.
So him and Chucky, I believe we were thinking
Yeah.
his name was?
Yeah, because I swear he called him that.
And they set out to start trying to catch him, despite the fact they're no longer in an area that can be jurisdiction kind of deal. Which pisses off M, obviously. And they intercept him along the way, and they're like, you have to go here for another job. You cannot work this. You have to let the Americans do it. So he resigns, and he fights his way out of there. As one does.
Yeah. However, those explain to me why with that meeting with M that they were like locked and loaded on Bond. Like,
Yeah. Well, I think they were ready to arrest him if he tried to leave. And not go to Budapest like they.
But man, they were all like shoot first, ask questions later mentality. My goodness.
Yeah. Go intercept the ship, I believe, was next. He intercepts the boat. And he talks with Lupe a little bit, and like Lupe's like, she has no desire to run away anymore after what happened to her.
Oh yeah, you got beat.
So he he shoots one of the people on the boat, and he jumps off, and he screws with a huge drug deal going on, and he escapes on a plane. And he retreats back to Felix's office, where he knows where the disc is hidden, and he gets his next lead, and it leads him to Pam Bouvier at this bar. And just in the nick of time, because she was just about to be grabbed by Franz's men. And they manage to fight their way to the boat and go off. And she's agreed to fly him to Ishmar, I believe it was called. And where Franz is going to be. And M knows where he's going. He's like, we're going to send our 00 agent after him. But Moneypenny has another thing coming too. She not only reports to the agent, she reports to Q, who meets him there. So now they keep fucking with Thrawn off. They go to his casino and bank that he owns and deposit all the money they've stolen during the drug. He stole during the drug heist or the drug deal. So now they're screwing with Franz. He gets invited up to Franz's office. Well, no, he invites himself into Franz's office, and he plays the role of a rogue agent, kind of gone rogue, bad kind of deal, because he knows that they're going to find out eventually he was a British agent. So he just plays the role of a rogue agent. He's not lying. He technically is a rogue agent.
At this point, yes, he is.
But at the same time, he also realizes that his office is impenetrable. He can't shoot his way through. And that's when Q arrives with a bunch of toys for him, which works out great because he needs the explosives and everything. So he tells those two to go back home and he's going to deal with it here. And he almost gets away with it, but he is intercepted during the drug meeting with all these drug dealers, where you're learning that Franz wants to split up this huge territory of land among all these drug lords. One of those drug lords ends up being Hong Kong Narcotics, who's been working with the 00 agent who's there. And they're going to just ship Bond back off to wherever, back up to England. But they're interrupted by the military led by Franz. And now he really believes Bond is this rogue agent because they find him tied up to a table. So Bond now is in good graces with him. He sneaks off of the island that he wakes up on, because he wakes up on Franz's private estate. But Lupe helps him get off of that, so they can continue trying to get to him. But before he leaves the estate, he puts it into Franz's head that there's an inside man. And the way he words it, it makes it sound like it's Crest, the guy from the boat and the drug deal gone bad. So they make Bouvier and Bond make their way back onto the boat, just as Franz is getting there, and they plant all of the money back on the boat. So they kill Crest in a just delicious sort of way.
Right.
And Bond sneaks his way back onto the estate. And he gets himself invited on the tour of the lab, where we learn that they're cooking the coke into this gasoline, and they're ciphering the coke out of the gasoline later. But unfortunately,
I don't think that will actually work.
No, I don't think that'll work. But unfortunately, one of the people from the bar from earlier shows up and recognizes Bond. But he sets off some of the gas, which explodes, and then everything's exploding. Franz is on the run, and Pam just Bouvier saves Bond from falling into the machinery. And now they're chasing after Franz. They chase him on a plane to his trucks. Then Franz finally crashes out and everything. But just as he's about to put Bond down, because Franz gets the upper hand on him, he pulls out the wedding gift, the wedding lighter, from way back at the beginning where we see it's gimmicked, so the fire just shoots up out of it. And he sets Franz on fire, and Pam arrives with the getaway truck, and they drive off. He chooses Bouvier over Lupe, and the movie ends.
And so does the Dalton era.
So does the Dalton era.
So,
can you call it an era if you only did 2?
I mean, not really, I guess.
I kind of wish they signed him like 3 movies ago, because I would have taken 5 of Dalton.
Yeah, I think I would have shortened more, because Moore was not Moore himself, but like the quality, the direction, everything was just kind of falling off on the deep end. And then you hit a true 80s film, both 80 films, but they're 87, 89. Yeah, so the Dalton films were short in the sense of he only got 2, and he was supposed to be a long Bond. This is not.
Yeah, I guess there was I thought it was Brosnan was originally supposed to come in, but from what I heard, there was a lawsuit that cut him short, and it delayed the shooting of the next movie.
And they just kind of was like, let's just move on.
Yeah, doing that, he retired from the character, and Brosnan stepped in.
This film, I thought this one was still on par.
Yeah. I really like the action sequences. I like the fact that you had a more personally driven Bond.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking while you were reading plot, because I remember it was you have a Bond that's now this is not just a mission. This is personal because Felix is his one of his friends out in the field, even though they're on two different continents. They often has worked together. He's a groomsman in the wedding. They even did a quick mission
During the wedding.
During the wedding, like you can't get no closer than that. And then pretty much you see the pissed off Bond to where he's like
He's quitting his job.
He's quitting his job because he's like, I'm doing this on my own because you're not getting away with this. And it's nice that it's an ironic piece that the final touch to Franz is the gift lighter.
Yeah.
That they even knew, like, when they were testing it. It's like, what the hell are you
No, that's right. I think it was a gag gift just to mess with him.
Well, that's a lethal one. Because even when he flipped it open, that thing was like... It was like insane.
But that was a nice little flashback, not a flashback, but a foreshadow that you didn't realize until later on.
Yeah, and then it was like, man, that's how much it was personal to Bond. I will say this much about these two films. I thought they were even. Like I didn't think this one was an improvement sequel or less quality sequel. I think it was there, and often, I mean, they basically came out 2 years apart, 87 and 89, so usually it's once one film comes out, they're already filming the next one. So they didn't really give themselves time to, let's see if we can improve it. And I don't think they did. I think this was a good Bond film.
This is also the last one for M. He gets replaced in the next one.
Money Penny as well.
Yeah.
This is also the last John Glenn directed Bond. Which was crazy because, like, the two, you directed the final 3 Roger Moore films, and then you get 2 Daltons, and yet from 85 to 87, 2 different films of a film. Like, that's a little bit of impressive. It's like, somebody must have smacked him. It's like, no, stop this, get back to Bond.
I like the, watching this one, it really makes you wonder, why weren't they using Q more? Because he was really entertaining throughout this movie.
I don't know. Like, I mean, just... There's a lot of questions about, up to this point, why they didn't use certain characters more than others. I do...
I'll say when he's being taken to M, I thought we were about to meet Blofeld again. Because he was surrounded by all the cats. Oh, yeah. Are we about to meet Blofeld? No, it's M. Okay.
Like, I thought that...
Oh, no. Not Blofeld.
Like, didn't we have enough of him? And it just... And honestly, that character probably felt like he wouldn't fit in to this couple of films.
Yeah.
So if he would have been in there, somebody had to pay somebody to do it, and it probably would have turned this film upside down. I am kind of bummed out. Like, I know we're getting into our Bond era. You got Pierce for 4 films?
Pierce is 4.
4. And you got, I think, Daniel Craig's 6. So we're 5. We're coming into our era. But I thought Dalton, like, I know, like, the lawsuits that Justin was just saying about a few minutes ago, I wanted to maybe get a third Bond.
Yeah, another one with Dalton would have been good.
And see how they would have took the step into the 90s with a Bond coming out of decades, because they haven't had a good streak of that. You look at Roger in the 70s, he was all right for the 70s, but then the 80s Bonds, it was just like, my goodness. Was there any cons I can really say about it?
They were like 50-50 on what they wanted to do with her sometimes.
Yeah.
Because they started like being the strong, competent character.
Yep.
And then she sort of becomes ditzy for a large portion of this, and then becomes competent again.
Yeah, they didn't have a clear direction.
Yeah, they weren't. It really felt like they weren't too sure what they wanted to do with her. Yeah.
So, in the end, we're gonna rank. Give this film a grade. Then we'll talk a little bit about the Dalton short film series.
I'm gonna give this one a B+.
Okay.
B+.
I am actually giving this one a B, which is on par. Like I said, and I stated a couple of minutes ago, they were kind of even. Like you got what you got, and it was a vast improvement.
Yeah.
Now where are we putting Dalton at?
I'm gonna give him an A. I thought he did really great.
Would you put him as number 1 to this point?
To this point, yes.
To this
Dalton
point,
is
yeah.
number one.
You know who's the last one?
Connery.
Connery. Yeah.
Connery's
It's
the
Connery.
dead last. Connery.
It is. George Lazenby is above him.
George Lazenby is right behind Dalton. That's just
Yeah, you know what? I would agree that.
like right now. If we had to rate the four, it would be Dalton, Lazenby, Moore, Connery.
Yeah. Yeah, I thought Dalton, brought what Bond could be about, brought him into the 80s a little bit late in the game.
He felt like a spy.
He felt like a spy. He wasn't. You still had the Bond womanizing traits a little bit, but it wasn't a focus point.
Yeah.
It's like small in between. And then it was also.
Now, they did talk a little bit. He didn't admit to it till like 2011 or something like that. But the reason why they backed off on the womanizing, especially in this movie, AIDS.
Oh,
This is the AIDS pandemic time.
okay. I find a negative and a positive. Like, it made the movie better. It made Bond's like, okay, like he's still gonna kiss and he's still gonna do that, but he wasn't weak about it. Where it was just like, come on, man.
At the same time too, it worked too because he's on such a personally driven vendetta that it does make sense that he only really focused on one woman. That was Bouvier.
Yep.
And even then, she was forcing herself to stay aboard because he kept telling her, go home. Here's your money. Go home.
Yeah, best Bond to date. Can we say best Bond films to date as well?
Yeah, I mean, between what was that last one? It was it wasn't A View for a Kill. It was The Living Daylights. Living Daylights was probably better than this one, but not by much.
Yeah. So the next time we do a Bond film,
It's finally time.
it's finally time for Justin. And what's the
the
next film called?
GoldenEye.
All right. Until next time.
Bye bye.